Hello, everyone.
I'm almost at the end.
And we're all gunning for 'em. And this is Stud or Scrub. Who's who? You decide. Thank you for joining us for this, our 184th installment, where Scary and I show our practice tournaments, meta thoughts, and lists, and discuss the world of competitive 40K, and go for the top spot in the ITC in the case of one of us. And yes, I said gunning for him, because do not make this road easy for him. He does not want it to be easy. He wants to earn this shit, and he's done it so well so far. Don't take that away from him now.
That's right. You're talking about me.
I am. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad that at least you know who I'm referring to in this case.
Thank you. No, it's WCW, the end or the final event of the ITC season is this week in Atlanta. And it has been quite the journey. So huge thank you to everybody who's been following the journey and giving me encouragement
Support?
and everything over this entire time.
Support,
Thank you so much, everybody. What, sorry?
Support's a good thing.
Yeah, support. Yeah, thanks for giving me encouragement and support and sending me messages and just following the journey. Huge shout out to Dan and from the Red Dragon, who quite literally sponsored this entire thing, as well as the patrons. So it's been a crazy and really exciting and positive journey. And it's not over yet. I have 9 more games of Warhammer to play for the season, gunning for that number 1 spot. Hey, what?
So close. Get out of the way, Innes. Here comes Scary.
I love it. He's put a bounty on my head as well, which is
of course
really,
he has.
I love it. I find that it's like a really cool modicum of respect, he respects me enough to actually
Somebody get rid of him.
put a bounty on my head, which is great. You know what? I'll take it. The fact that he had to come to the event to try and clinch his number 1 spot, but also Ben Jones got a ticket to come down, a sponsored ticket to come down to the event. So he is going to be, he's going to be there too. So we have the top 4. We have the top 4 spots, the top 4 spots of the ITC as of right now, essentially, all at the event, Folger, Ben Jones, myself, Innes. We're all it's gonna be a photo finish, and we're all within striking distance. It's so cool. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great to watch. It's going to be great competitive 40K. Everybody's going to want to watch that. Now, this is the end, as you were saying. This is serious crunch time. The whole season was crunch time. Let's be real. You put a lot of work into this, as did Folger and you guys all put a lot of work into this. So the end of this right now, this is where most people, and I say most people because I know you're different. You feel it, but most people.
I'm a freak of nature.
You are a freak of nature, but most people, you're the most positive motherfucker I know. Most people at this point are really starting to feel the pressure of it. Now, we're talking about competitive pressure here, and I mean real competitive pressure in this case, because top spot ITC, this is one of the things that singles 40K players strive for. This is what they want to accomplish. They want to get that number 1 spot just once, to say they did it, they could do it, they prove they did it, and cool. I showed myself, I showed everybody. This is one of the top things you can do playing 40K in general. So competitive pressure is on. You're one of these guys that you always stay positive. I don't know how the fuck you just, like I said, you're one of the most positive motherfuckers I know, and it's really aggravating to watch sometimes, even when horrible things are happening. You got this shit-eating grin on your face and just going about your day like nothing's wrong, and you're in Care Bear Happy Land, which is great. It's great. You want to have that kind of attitude.
You're right about the aggravating part. I think there are people who, acquaintances that I do believe take that to heart and
I think
harbor resentment.
Like I am
which
just
makes
joking about this.
me-
Like I'm razzing on you and joking, but it doesn't actually bother me. But I do know there are people that are bothered by it, and it's
Right. I think it's, whatever.
it
Some
is-
people are gonna, they're gonna be all grumpy about it. Sure, it's not gonna affect what I
it
do.
doesn't
But
affect what you
it's
do.
funny. I find it poetic, I guess, that it's like, that some folks just do you want to be miserable?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like it's fake that I'm like not feeling miserable? Like I don't understand. But
No.
I'm not gonna try and understand.
No,
Everybody
there's
has
no
their own
point.
sort of like
There's no point.
philosophy or whatever.
That's just how you
Yeah.
deal with competitive pressure, and it doesn't change anything of how you do. Now, it does affect a lot of people. Competitive pressure affects different people different ways. And honestly,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing, and I'll say this outright. I believe that competitive pressure, and I think this is even factual. I say it's my opinion, but I think this is factual. A competitive pressure is how like cheaters are actually born, because they feel that competitive pressure, so
Yeah.
they have these little voices in the back of their head that are like, oh, they didn't see that dice roll. You can just say it was a hit. They don't know. They won't know. You can just pick up the dice and roll the wound now. Like those little voices in their head is just when the competitive pressure really gets to you. That's how those kind of cheating moments are born. It's not from the fluffy players. Or God, I hope not. That's a whole other story. I hope that's not where it is. It's born in from competitive pressure, which is why we get. I say we as like competitive 40K players, we get those bad reps from a lot of outsiders that are looking in, seeing all of those shitty players in competitive scene. I don't want to play against them. It's not the competitive players in general. It's the competitive pressure that causes people to do these shitty things sometimes because they react differently to competitive pressure. I'm saying competitive pressure a lot. I should call it. I was going to call it CP, but that would get confusing considering the game we're playing.
That's right. That's right. We get one per battle round.
One per battle round. You get one competitive pressure per battle round. That's right.
That's right.
Now,
that's how that works. Well, competitive pressure, like I think it's just the same. Like I've heard this many a time. Be like, well, he's normally a really nice guy. He just when he plays, he becomes an asshole.
There are so many. I have met so many people that I would hang out with them. I would go drinking with them. I would do stupid shit with them outside of 40K any day of the week because they're awesome people. I'd love to hang out with them. But at the table at a competitive game, I don't want to interact with you. You're being a piece of shit.
Yeah, that is definitely something that, and everybody will have, or I'm assuming folks will have stories, right? Where you can like, you'll have a story of this happening or whatnot. Please feel free to share. No. or
name names.
Or tell us why me being positive aggravates you.
That I want to know. I want to know.
I would no, it's more like I'm not naive to it, if that makes sense. Right? Like it's very obvious. I just choose not to care.
You know what? And that's probably what aggravates me even more. Like you should care that I am aggravated by your not caring.
Yeah.
And this is this vicious cycle.
Well, it's funny because, I think we all like to win, right? I think that even someone who loses a lot would like to win.
Would like to win. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like winning feels nice. It feels good.
Great. Winning is a fun way to play this game. Like I don't think there's many people that will say like I have more fun losing. There are some, and it is sometimes more fun to lose. But I don't think anybody gets into this game like I'm gonna get my shit pushed.
I don't think I'm gonna call bullshit on that. I don't think it's more fun to lose. I think it's sometimes losses were funner games, like better storytelling. Right, like it doesn't necessarily the story doesn't necessarily mean that you win or lose. I don't think that it's like more fun to lose.
But the story that it created because of it was
correct.
Okay, yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
I think personally, if I'm losing a game, like I'm trying to find the little things that I really do enjoy.
Hmm.
about that game specifically, whether it was like a moment or a key thing in time or something that I can kind of tell a story about, like
Yeah.
losing does suck, right? Um, and it's not easy to lose. Like I've probably lost more games than some people have even played,
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yep. I can relate
Right.
to
And
that.
so that's, when it comes to me being positive about the game or in a bad and shitty situation, like there are definitely things that I kind of rely on to kind of keep my attitude. It's not like a good attitude and under competitive pressure is not something that is normal, number one.
No, no, it's
And
not.
number two, it's not something that is like inherent. Like some people have a good attitude or they don't. Like it's hard to teach attitude,
Hmm.
but how you deal with pressure and how you turn negatives into the potential for growth is a learned skill.
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely agree with that too. It's the fact that it's not inherent is actually really important to kind of point out because I know a lot of really, really, really good 40K players, but I know they would not make it in their current state to like the top of a GT because they do not handle the pressure well. Like there are some of the best players that I've ever played against, but the moment things start swinging against them, they just collapse into themselves, and they just cannot come out of that pressure.
Yeah,
And that's one of the biggest. Like, and we've talked about mental fortitude many times on this podcast. We're not going to go into that, but because obviously mental fortitude is a big part of dealing with this kind of pressure. But it's even before you get to the table all the time. Like in your situation, because you're going into this the biggest WCW ever with the most on the line you've ever had on the line. So this is like the most kind of pressure you're going to feel going into an event because it is all on you because it's not like a team event, so it's all on you. But having that mental fortitude and being able to deal with that pressure, because if you let it crush you,
yeah,
your opponents are going to do it too.
that's right.
That's why,
You know,
in
it,
this case, your positive attitude, in this case, in every case, but in this case particular, your positive attitude is really an asset. Because if Folger or Ennis can't keep that, I know they will, but as an example, if they can't keep the pressure above them, but and you can, then you already have a huge edge on them. Obviously, they're
yeah,
experienced in
like
this too, so that's not the case. But just as an
yeah,
example,
if you want to be a champion at Warhammer, the attitude
or
is something that
anything,
you have to have. Like
anything.
I like the proper attitude and the stick-activity and the hard work. I wanna
Stickativity,
give
is
a
that a
shout
word?
out, but tenacity, right?
Ah, there we go.
So so I want to give a shout out to Nemo the fish. He from the what I experienced with him at LVO like in February to him winning LVO in October, right? Like after that event, he put his head down, he played hundreds of matches, he practiced, and he really worked on attitude for himself and a mental aspect. And it was very much on display at the LVO in October. And he developed and honed and trained his winning mentality, his
Hmm.
championship mentality. And it took time and effort, and he put the effort and the work into it. And then he cashed in on it at LVO, right? Like he put the work in and it paid off,
Yeah, because
right?
it
It's
can be learned. It's not
definitely something you
inherent,
do.
but you can drill it into your own head with just reps after reps. That helps a lot of. It's easier. It's much easier to deal with pressure when you don't feel it because you've done it so many times. It's just like it's just another day at the office. You know what I mean?
Correct. Not only that, but it's about managing expectations. It's about understanding like what
Yeah.
your goals are. It's about, really being real with yourself,
Well, one of the biggest things that will cause you the most pressure is your self expectations. Like you have to perform a certain way. You shouldn't lose to this person, or you shouldn't lose to this army. Like you shouldn't lose this, whatever that is. You have those expectations in your own head, and if you start letting yourself down, then you're getting your own head again. Then you just spiral out of control. It's hard when you start being really successful at something. I'm not even just 40K. It's hard when you start being really successful at something to feel like you failed at some point, whether it be because of dice or just a matchup that didn't, or you made the wrong plays. If you can self-reflect enough to know what you did wrong, that makes a big difference too. But
Right.
it's harder to keep that attitude when you're so successful at something, and then you suddenly, I'm not even gonna say get a reality check, but sometimes it is, but you just lose or you fail at something. You thought you had this in the bag and think, oh, I just got 20 out. What the fuck just happened? Like,
Or you travel all the way to England to, compete at the LGT and lose your first round.
why did I know you were going to bring that up?
Because that is literally the moment that you're describing.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't actually thinking about that, but yeah, it is.
That is the moment. It's
Yep.
the I put time, effort, money, travel, time away from family.
Yeah,
Yes, this is my time
but
to shine
see,
and really kind of like show off what I can do. Oh, I lost my first game against somebody who plays like 3 games a year,
you
right?
you buckled down and won the rest of your games.
Yes.
Like that's the difference. A lot of people would crumble after that. And that's the difference between the top players and the players that are really good at the game but never crack that top 10 percentile. It's that
Yeah,
fortitude
it's like
because you're
you
not
you
going to
you
win
have to
every game.
play the tenacity, right?
Yeah,
That
it's
is
the
quite
tenacity.
literally tenacity, which is I do think that in order to have good competitive sort of like a way to really deal with competitive pressure, you know, um, that tenacity for those moments is very important.
Hmm.
And this has nothing to do with me being a chronic optimist, right? Or like being delusional when it comes to the positivity.
Delusional.
Like,
Wow.
I'm pretty sure some people would call my positive attitude delusion,
I don't
right?
know. That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
I beg to differ, okay? Like especially if you're grumpy about me being
If
positive.
you're grumpy
So
about you being positive, that's delusional.
then they would see it as delusion. Like I'm trying to gaslight you into agreeing with me here, please.
Shut up.
Um,
Gaslight me.
anyway, so like I do think that in order to be a competitor at the highest level, one needs to understand that you're not going to win every game. One needs to understand that, like, when you're rolling dice, you have zero control over what's going to happen,
Hmm.
right? Which means that even though I see that the dice are shit or whatever in that specific moment in time, doesn't mean I need to acknowledge the dice because it's sort of like it imprints in your mind, right? Like the fight, flight, or freeze response from your brain, right? Was trying to get you to sort of like get that lizard brain up and running. And if you want to be good at this game, you cannot let it win.
No, like if you start looking at the dice and start blaming that kind of stuff, then you're just feeding into your own negativity. You're feeding into your own, oh shit, I'm shit. Like that kind of
Well,
stuff
not
can
only
happen.
that, but you're basically making it impossible for you to ever improve.
As the great Sphinx once said, when you doubt your powers, you give powers to your doubts.
There you go.
Ah.
So,
That's from Mystery Men for any of you that are from the 90s.
well, thanks for that educational moment.
I wouldn't call that educational, but
Like all I know is that when I play the game, I try get good at the things I can control, so deployment and things like that. I try to get good at the knowledge of what, other things do in the game or whatever. And then I try and just play the game. I don't try and pretend like I understand everything. I don't try and pretend that I know everything. But I definitely know how line of sight works and how I can stay out of line of sight,
how I
right?
could
I
not get
know
shot
that
like that.
what, sorry?
How I could not get shot. That's
How I can not get shot, right? I know, how to deploy an army effectively so that I can mitigate my opponent's first turn based on like if they're going first or second or if they're a fast aggressive army or whatever. So I put my homework down, like I do the homework.
mhm.
It's just I don't if I go like my attitude has changed in many years of playing this game from someone who, is like I don't like my self even though my goal was to be number one this year, right? My goal is to be number one. My goal is to get there,
I
right?
wasn't going to correct you, but I'm glad you caught it. Like,
Yeah.
is.
It is. It's still my goal. But like, even though that is, it's not like my identity is not tied to the my ability to win a game of toy soldiers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, even though it's my job, I coach people for a living. I do battle reports, and the community seems to enjoy what I do, which is awesome, and I'm eternally grateful for. Like me going, it's like it's become more about me enjoying the journey of getting there, right? Of learning, like meeting people from all over the world, of like having awesome conversations with folks, and like teaching people, and kind of like and messing it up and fucking shit up, right? To the point where I get to like actually talk to people about those mess ups and the lessons and things that I've learned the hard way, right? And I love it because it gives me perspective on just life in general.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
That's
best way to
why
look
I'm
at it.
so positive. I'm positive because, I like at the end of the day, you have a really shit time playing Warhammer, and I still slept in a bed. And I still, we were talking about being thankful and stuff, I
Hmm.
think on like, it's like the little things that's just one of the reasons that losing a game of Warhammer at the end of the day does not matter to me.
No, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. And I want to say too, this is especially for competitive players, but I think it's important for everybody. It is, in my opinion, very important to lose games, and I mean important games. Go to a tournament and lose your first game. Go to a tournament and lose like a game you think you should win. I think that's very important to do. I don't mean like go throw it. Like
Yeah,
don't go
yeah,
there and just
yeah,
get
yeah,
shit
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I mean it's very
It's like a
important.
rite of passage, right?
Yeah, it is a rite of passage, and you need to be
Yeah.
able to come out of those losses and reflect on how you could get better, what you did wrong, what you can improve on. Congratulate your opponent for like outplaying you. Don't blame the fucking dice because it's not the dice. That just makes your opponent feel like shit. Like, oh, I would have kicked your ass if the dice didn't roll slightly below average. Like, fuck off. Like, that just takes away the win from your opponent. That's not fair to them. So these are things that losing those kind of games is important, and it's important to develop the tenacity, because that's the word we're using, develop the tenacity that you're going to need when you are going to go to these major events and when it really matters. Because when you start getting behind, I've seen games where people are losing, 50-10 in round three and then end up winning because they buckled
Kept to it.
down and they kept to it because they didn't let it get to them. Like they're just laughing about it. That's what I actually found myself when I roll shit now. I I laugh. I can't help it. That's just what I do. I laugh. It's just like, what are you gonna do? Like, well, that sucks. Let's just move on. What am
Yeah.
I can't change it. So what? Why am I gonna get upset about it? I lost, but cool, good job. Like I mean, like I should on. It's important to be able to take loss and not dwell on it. Because if you dwell on it, we're playing this game for fun, right? If you're playing it to win, that's a lot of money to invest just to get.
It's like if you're
It,
playing it to win, and you're in your entire self of the entire sense of like
self worth.
self-worth or whatever is tied into you winning. Like it's like you're just you do know you're gambling, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
this is
You're gambling
like
and
it.
you're gonna beat yourself 9 times out of 10. Like you are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely like a huge part of the whole process,
Yeah.
I think there's a fine line. You know, and I will say though that like at the beginning of this journey, one of the important things that I did was I really told myself that I was going to make sure I played every game like the same, and I wasn't going to let pressure affect how I play the game at
Hmm.
any point of the process. And I'm really happy that that's like that's stayed true with me. I'm not compromising that sort of like chill nature to the game, even if it would mean that I would lose or whatever, right? I'm gonna get to number one the right way.
Yeah. Well, that's what you want because that's the way it'll make it worth it. Especially if you get there with that attitude, it just makes it that much better. And if the worst is happening, you don't make it, man, you had a fucking great run. Like you should be proud of what you've done already and what you're gonna do this weekend. Like you already should be proud of it. I'm proud of it.
Exactly.
I'm
Well,
not
thanks,
you.
man.
I, I'm not this
One game
positive
at a
guy.
time, baby. One
It's
game at a
always
time.
one game at a time. That's the most important thing to remember. It's just a game of Warhammer. It's just a game of toy soldiers. Have fun because that's what you do. In the end, that's what you're doing this for. Don't let the kind of pressure get to you, and don't get to that point where you see that's where the people come with like the loaded dice or whatever, where that they let that pressure get to them, so they take those steps because they have to win. You don't ever want to get to that point because it's not worth it. Who gives a shit? It's toy soldiers. Even if you beat me, that's great. I still had fun. Did you have fun? Like I
Yep.
might have gotten some shitty dice rolls. I might have made some mistakes, but now I can reflect back and say, all right, this if I did this and that could have changed that. Can't dwell on the single dice roll. That's for sure. Because I guarantee you that no game of Warhammer ever lost by a single dice roll, and I mean that in full seriousness. Because even if you watch the end of a game, like, oh, but yeah, if you made that charge, you would have won the game, or if you didn't make that save, you would have won the game. Like, yes, in that context, but the whole game before that, there are other moves that could have been made differently to not have been put in that situation where they needed that one dice roll to work. You have to look at the game as a
Exactly.
whole. It's not to one dice roll. It's like, oh shit! If you just failed that save, I would have won. It's like, yeah, but if you did this in like round three, then you wouldn't have had to be put in that situation. You wouldn't have to rely on that dice. It's not a game of one dice roll. It's a game of 5 rounds now, back and forth, right? So it's important to keep that in mind too. I think I think a lot of people forget that. It's a lot of the time when you hear them complain about the dice rolls. That's where you got to remember. Remember that's not just that one dice roll. Like there's other things you can do. Yes, if you roll nothing but ones all game, well, not much you can do in those situations a lot of the time. But I doubt that's what happened. that's
Exactly.
extremely unlikely. If it was
Well,
happening
I've
by
had
the end of round
coaching.
one, you
I
should
don't
you
know.
should stop rolling those dice.
Yeah, like it at the end of the day, it's 3 hours of time, right? So how do you want to spend 3 hours of your time? You're not getting that time back,
No,
right?
you wanna have this kind of game playing with your opponent, like we've said many
Yeah.
times, right? So
Well, competitive pressure, like I think we've defined it. We've kind of like talked a little bit about it. What other things are important about sort of like how we deal with competitive pressure
in terms of how to deal with it, you mean just in general?
in general? Like, the topic today, competitive pressure, dealing with like competition, right? I've like positivity is something that I've worked really hard on and kind of like really made sure that my head and my brain is kind of like hardwired to make sure that I'm trying to make the right decisions.
Hmm.
For me mentally. I've also put fail safes in place for when I do find myself slipping, because we're all humans. Like you get tilted, I get tilted. Like we all get tilted at times. But it's about how do you know, deal with it
Hmm.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think one of the best examples of this that most people, if not damn near all people that play 40K in general, is when they get put on stream. That's when
Yeah,
most people feel the most pressure because now there's thousands of people watching, and let's be real, the internet is
yeah,
not known for its kindness in general. So it's known for its scrutiny. So that adds a lot more pressure. People like wanting to make mistakes even less, which ironically makes for even sloppier plays because people are trying to not be sloppy, which is it's something that's really hard to get over. I know, and I think it's experience is the only real answer. Like you have to do it to realize it doesn't matter. Like who cares? You just play your game. Play the game as if there were no cameras. I would like to see some
yeah.
streams of games where they don't know they're being streamed. You know what I mean? That's how most games are played. So it'd be a lot easier to not feel pressure if it's not like shining on your face, literally, because
Yeah.
lights shine on your face when you're on a stream. But it's nothing to be stressed about. It's just you're just playing the game and people are watching it. In fact, you should be excited about it because now you're on TV. Like this is something we
No,
strive for as
exactly. It's
kids.
like it's really fun, when you do get to be on when you do get to be on stream. Like personally, I enjoy being on stream more than not, right?
Hmm.
But it's
Well,
like,
you kind of benefit from it too, right? Because you get more
yeah,
exposure.
yeah, yeah. Like, well, yes, sure, that it is. That's really fun and whatnot. But um, yeah, it is just like if you haven't been able to do it or whatever, or you haven't been on it before, like that pressure goes away if you just try and like
Play the game.
play the game
Like
and not like don't
you'll
stress about it
you'll
too
often
much.
forget about it. If you just play your game, you'll forget.
Yeah,
You will. I know it seems weird to say that, but if you're just playing your game, you'll forget that you're on stream a lot of the time. Now,
yeah,
I don't. I am. If you've seen me play on stream before, you know I'm a bit of a ham. So I definitely try to make the game entertaining as much as I can, even if it's doing stupid decisions in the game, because I want to have
yeah,
fun and I want the stream to have fun because this is our entertainment, right? And I want to draw people in. I can't help it. Some people are the opposite. Some people get really quiet. They just gotta think because they don't want to give away their strategies to people, or that's fine too. Everybody reacts differently to it, but in the end, it is how people react to pressure because that's just added pressure. It's one of the external pressures you'll feel, not just like your personal one. Because now, if we're talking about external pressures, it's are you being judged by a group of people? Are you like in this group of these faction followers, and they're looking at you like, oh, you better do well, or you're gonna get kicked out of the group, or whatever the case may be in that sense. So there is those kind of external pressures too that you may feel,
yeah.
but again, in the end, you're just playing for yourself. Play for fun. I don't know
Well,
how the
especially in a singles event. You know what I mean?
especially a
Like
singles
teams
event.
event, like a team event, sure, there might be a little bit more pressure,
That's
like in terms of
different.
coordination stuff. It is a little bit different when it comes to, I guess
I
the
feel less
like
pressure at teams events though.
same, same. Like I definitely feel less pressure at team events, but some people might feel more,
Yeah,
right? It is conducive for like a little bit extra pressure, I find.
it is. It is definitely conducive because then you feel like you're letting 7 people down or 4 people down, or however many other people were on your team down. That could be another part of it. I think. Yeah, actually, you know what? That I could see that because if you're going with people that you're trying not to let down, especially if you don't know the people you're going with, because I know there's a lot of people that just get teams together because they want to experience a team event, which is a great idea because you
Right.
should.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You
then
should because it's awesome.
yeah, and then yeah, you feel that kind of pressure to perform, and I get that, but yeah, it's toy soldiers, man. It's toy soldiers.
Okay, so I am someone who's like, you know what? F you, Dustin, and your positive attitude, because I feel the competitive pressure and, I put so much money, time, and effort that I need to make sure that I'm performing to make it worth my while.
Okay,
So what do you say to that?
why would I say anything? Is that okay? Let's have a fun game.
I don't know.
It's
No,
like,
no, 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 no. I'm not. I'm talking as a counterpoint. You know what I mean? Like as a counterpoint, you know,
oh, you
I
mean like
like my idea of like I put a lot of money and effort into this. My
yeah,
goal is to perform. So it is like my pressure is to perform. And if I'm not performing, I'm not having fun and this isn't worth my time. Right? So, you know, I have different goals than you have.
hmm
You have fun with it, but in my case, like I really like this is tied in directly to how I want to like how so I don't agree with you saying, "Oh, it's just be all happy go lucky." Like I need to compete,
yeah,
right? And I need to perform.
great. Then that's how you enjoy the game. I say you do it. Make sure you get your practice games in. If that's the way you want to play the game, that's great. Make sure you point that out to your opponents before you play it, so they can give you those kind of games. 'Cause that's important to
Yeah.
have that conversation right off because you will end up having better games with people if you mention at the hey, I'm in this to perform and I like this is how I want to play. Then you set that expectation, you'll have better games. So you don't have we talked about this I think in the last episode too. So you don't have those gotcha moments of oh, I'm not going to let you take that back because we're not doing takebacks in this game. If you didn't have that conversation at the beginning, then it's
Well,
like, oh,
okay,
well,
okay. The attitude of the person that I just sort of like, used as a sort of devil's advocate doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be an arsehole on the
no, no, no.
table,
I
right?
know that, of course.
Yeah. But yes, I agree. It's one of those things where like it goes back to goal setting. So if you were to sort of like set a goal for yourself, a performance goal, right? How would you go about setting a goal for yourself based on that sort of like competitive element, based on like your realistic, like your ability to perform based on your like history, like kind of like how you can do historically at this game, right? So how would you go about setting a realistic goal and sort of trying to achieve it while tackling with that sort of like competitive pressure?
Well, like I said, the most important thing to me is experience and reps. I think
Okay.
setting the realistic goals right off the bat is like you first thing you got to do step by step. You can't just go, I'm going to go win LVO as your first tournament. That's just not that's not the way to do it. Sure, it could happen. It absolutely could, but it's unlikely. You want to say, okay, there's an RTT here 2 months from now. I want to place top three.
Right.
Then you get those reps. You're practicing for that specific RTT for that time, however far away it is. For RTT, maybe you can do a month because it's 3 rounds. It's a little bit less stressful, less of a commitment. But you want to be able to do more of those. But regardless, you set that expectation. Okay, I want to get top three. I want to like podium at this RTT, and you keep going to an RTT like however often you can go, like every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, whatever your time allows you to be able to do, travel to, or whatever
Right.
wherever your area has. You set that goal, and once you hit it, then you take the next step up. Okay, now I'm going to go to this RTT. I'm going to win it, and then you keep practicing for that goal until you win that, and then once you win the RTT, all right, there's a GT. I'm gonna podium at this GT or podium at a GT, and then work towards each GT as it comes up every month. So you have those goals that you're striving for. You're practicing for it because now you have not just the goal of I want to do this at this GT. You have the criteria, so you know what the terrain, is. You know what the missions are. Generally the meta of where you are. Like, it gives you all that experience of prepping for those kind of events. So then when you graduate up to the point, okay, now I'm going to go to LVO. I'm going to make the shadow round. Or I'm going to make the top 8, whatever. Now you have that goal and you have the experience, so you know what you have to do to get to that point. Right?
Right. Yes. Okay.
Do
I
you have a way
definitely
of
see
doing it?
how that would work. Yeah, so I think one of the things that you have to remember when setting goals is that goals are adaptable.
Yep.
So like you want to set yourself a goal. You want to set yourself an expectation, but it's okay to sort of reevaluate goals as you go along.
Yes, it is.
Like goals have to be I'm a big proponent of SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and against a time frame,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you're looking at the acronyms of SMART.
Of course.
And so when you're setting a goal, you have to set, yes, I want to be number one in the ITC. However, you have to kind of set how, like how? Well, I'm going to be going to like all these big events, and you list the events, and and I'm going to make sure that I'm practicing, 2, 3 games a week on whatever. And you have to sort of set a system and then have small like checklist goals or like milestones that you kind of play with, right? So, and the only way you can kind of do this is with a set of like a baseline, right? So your expectations and the way that you play, though, that you sort of like set your competitive pressure
Mm-hmm.
is you have to go and experience it first,
Yep. Yes. Yes. See,
right?
experience. You got there. Experience.
Absolutely. But like, everybody says, well, how do I go to my first tournament? I love this question, right? How do I go to my first GT?
Yep.
Or what would you recommend for my first GT? Well, buy a ticket and go to your first GT.
Yeah, literally. What would you recommend? Go to it. Just
That's
play it.
very, very, that is the best thing you can do is
And
go to one
I should
first.
point out before I'm saying like go to and podium with this RTT, go to a fucking RTT first. Like, don't just
Right, right. Go and experience how it feels, like
yeah.
just to go to a
You
tournament.
can't
Like
say I'm going to play hockey and win the playoffs without
you can
playing
be
hockey before.
you can be the best player in your little group of players, right? You can go around and
Hmm.
crush everybody you want, right? Go crush them, sure, absolutely. You know what? It's going to be hard for you to do um, um, when you get to the RTT, you're gonna be like, yes, my goal is to do really well at this RTT, right? And then all of a sudden, what happens? You play 2 games and go, oh my gosh, playing 3 games a day is so tiring, right?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you knowing what you're doing, has nothing to do
Yeah.
with you like playing a meta list, has nothing to do with you, managing your expectations or setting poor goals, right? It's the fact that you just have never played so many
That's
games in a row before.
That's actually a really good point. Like, I guarantee you, the first GT you go to, you can't go there and say, I'm going to podium, because I guarantee you, you wake up the second day and there's going to be a moment like, oh, fuck, I don't want to go play 2 more games. You're going to
Right.
have those moments. Like, until you have to build that endurance, too.
Like when you're looking at like even the World Championships of Warhammer that are this weekend, it is 4 days. It is
Yeah.
2 games a day
Yeah.
for 4 days. Sorry, the 2 games a day, sure. They're 4-hour rounds. They're actually sort of chill. It's very much like the WTC,
Hmm.
right? Where, you have 4 days of games. Now, if you've been to an event that is that long before, you will have a much better chance at managing your competitive sort of like pressure than if it's your first time. And the reason being is not necessarily that it's like a lot of games, it's the fact that it's a fucking week of playing.
Yeah.
It's a week-long process. Like you get to like day 3 and you're like, this is day 3? I still have one more day, and you're at a hotel, you're like out of like, yes, sure, you're hanging out with people, but I'll tell you something about hanging out with people is being social is draining.
Yes, it is. I mean, and obviously we love it, but it is draining. It really is.
It is draining. Like it'll recharge you and you'll have a lot of fun. You won't feel it
Hmm.
until you feel it, right?
A lot of the time you won't feel it
And
until, like, you're driving home. Then you're like,
until you're
oh.
driving home, or like you're in the middle of that last game and it's like it's like a tough matchup and you're rolling like dice and you're like trying to figure out what's going on or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what, I am freaking tired, and it'll hit you all of a sudden, you know like you'll get like it'll hit you and you'll be like, what just happened, right? It is,
Hmm.
it's you can't really explain it until you've gone through it. Like my first like WCW, which was last year, right? I went um I went 4-4,
That's good.
and yeah, it's pretty good, right? Like I it was good. It's like I was average amongst champions. Which, yeah. uh
We've
and
discussed that, though. Like,
but
we were talking about, like, switching your list and shit. But yeah.
yeah, sure. Regardless of like why it was, or I lost 2 of those games by like 2 points or something. It was very, 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 very close. Except for the game against Olivier, he thoroughly kicked my ass. Um,
You're talking about
and
experience, like that.
talk about
Olivier's
experience.
got he's got a little bit of it. A little bit of it.
He was fresh off like winning WTC for
Yeah.
the first time, right?
Uh,
Anyway, so
Twice.
yeah,
Singles and
now it'll
teams.
be twice, right? If he's not in my pod this time. Now Liam's in my pod. This will be great though, because Liam's playing elves, which makes me so happy. Okay, so we've got you. It was the 8 games. It was literally 8 games,
Yep.
and it tired me out. And then I went on this like, you know what? I want to be number 1. And now I'm playing events that are like after a year, and literally I've been to a super major every like month, or every other month for the entirety of this year. I've been traveling and playing 9-round events on a consistent basis. And I
Hmm.
will tell you that it has taken time for my body to get used to that. It's
Yeah.
not easy to go for that many games. It is like it is a high performance sport. at that point. So Warhammer at a high level is a lot about, yes, building a good list, knowing your matchups, understanding deployment. It's also about having the physical capability to do it
Right.
and to stay fresh and to stay like to stay alert and to check into your games, not check out of your
Well, it's
games.
the same thing as if you're working out. Like you need to break those muscles down and then rip them so they can get rebuilt better. So you have to actually do it so your body knows how to respond to it and how to build that. Well, that tenacity. There's that word again. How to build that tenacity for it, so you can come back to the next one. Like, all right, slowly but surely, I'm getting fresher and fresher as the games go on, and as these tournaments
Right.
go on, because my body and my brain, more importantly, is now used to it and it knows what to expect instead of my one game every week that it gets to decompress from for a week before it plays again. It has to do like this marathon of it. It's different. It is training for a marathon, literally.
It is. And I didn't appreciate how much it was that until after like my fourth super major.
Yeah, it takes time. It take
When
you
it
don't
took me
get a six
time.
pack for going to the gym once in 2 months. Like that does not happen.
Correct. And what happened is like, after going to the shadow round a few times, you learn that it's not over till it's over, right? You kind of have to put your head down and just suck it up until it's done,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And eating well and making sure you get sleep and making sure you're trying to like have enough like vitamins and protein and it's like a whole health thing just as much as it is like, oh, I know what a power sword does, right? So in
Yeah.
terms of competitive pressures, like how prepared are you really to to do what you think you want to do,
That's an interesting way to look at it. How are you, how,
right?
how prepared are you really to do what you think you're gonna do? Like it's the same thing as Theory Hammer. You can go over the list a billion times and say this is perfect. You can deal with anything, but no plan ever survives contact with the enemy.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a
Hey,
little
yeah, so
little
there's
Sun
just a
Tzu for you.
little yeah, you have to be you have to be water, right? Go around the rocks, go over
Yeah,
the rocks.
we're going over the
Don't
rocks too. Oh,
if you don't be a dry stick, be a green
be a wet
stick,
stick,
a fresh new
fresh
wet stick or
a
whatever,
fresh
so
new
that
wet
you're
stick. What the fuck? What are we talking about right now?
you're talking about Sun Tzu. So I
Give me
decided
a
to bring
fresh
out some
wet
of the
stick.
more Sun Tzu quotes. No, it's like a reed. You want to be like a fresh reed that's like bendable and flexible,
Yeah,
not
there you
like
go.
a
There you
dry,
go.
fucked up twig,
There you
right?
go.
Whereas like,
That's
and you
you're
snap, right?
paraphrasing. You're paraphrasing. This is not exactly what's in the book, but you're paraphrasing it. But it's good. You get the general gist of it. I like it. This is the Stutter Scrub version of the Art of War.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
like it.
So, hmm.
No, it makes sense to me. Now, as a content creator specifically, with all these people watching your journey through WCW and the ITC run, do you feel that little bit of extra pressure at all, or is it just more exciting for you?
I I think it's because I have made the content creation part of this about the journey, not about the result.
Which is smart, by the way.
And that has allowed me to really enjoy the process a lot more with a lot less pressure, right? Like this isn't me going, I'm going to teach you how to be number one. It's my goal is to be number one. Let me tell you about my process, right? And then at the end of it, when I'm at the top, I can be like, you know what? This is what worked, it didn't work, and this is how like these are the things that I would do again, and these are the things I wouldn't do again, and you just kind of like create an educational moment with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as a content creator, that has definitely been something I've really enjoyed. Is like creating those moments or like, really appreciating the games that I've played based on the fact that, like, look, this was an easy matchup, or this was a hard matchup, or these were the mistakes I made, and like really trying to, like, if I make a mistake or I lose a game, or I feel shitty because I lost the first round of an event or whatever, it's about setting that example to be like, look, that was not my goal. My goal was not to fly all the way to England to lose my first round and not make it into the finals, right? Or not make it into at least a shadow round. That wasn't my goal. That definitely did not go to plan. You know? But like if I'd like to practice what I preach, where it'd be like, you know what, if I had a coaching client that went to a tournament, they lost their first round, like they better be finishing that
Oh,
event.
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
And they better be trying their hardest to like play every single game. Because if they decide to like quit after one game and be like, oh, I'm gonna go home, that does not teach anyone anything other than the fact that you're a quitter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's very true. And I think that's actually important for not just players. All players it's important, but I think for content creators, humility is extremely important. Extremely important. And all content creators really need to practice that, because the worst thing you can ever have when you're playing against a content creator is to do something, or even before the game even starts, and have them look at you like with the "do you even know who I am" look. I fucking hate that. I hate that so much.
Do you even know who I am,
Do
bro?
you even know who I am, bro? Like that look. You know the look that someone gets you, like, oh, how do you not know who I am, kind of thing. It's like, I got news for you, dude. You are in a community that's pretty niche community as it is. 9 out of 10 people in this community don't give a fuck about you.
That is very true.
They don't give a fuck about you. And right now, I'm one of them. So I'm sorry, man, but that's just, it is what it is. Like, most people, especially in my case, most people have no fucking clue who I am or care. And that's fine. That's good. You shouldn't. Because it's actually, it's almost, it feels bad for me if I go to a table and somebody thinks they're gonna lose just because they know who I am because I talked on a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, that's almost like, oh, dude, don't do yourself dirty like that. Like, I am not this unbeatable player. I lose a lot of games. Just because I'm a talking head does not make me any better than anyone else. Nobody is better than anyone else. Nobody. We're all equal. We are. Everybody has a chance at this game. And
I will say that equality does not mean sameness. It means everybody has the same chance.
That's right.
Right? And everybody is going to be different. It's
Yep.
like a garden, right? A garden with the same fucking flower is just a cash crop, right? A garden that has a lot of different things is a beautiful garden, right? So it's just very, it's very important to understand that you get to be unique, but everybody has the same, like an equal chance and an equal ability to play the game.
Right. Exactly. I think that's important. But
Yeah,
and go ahead.
having a platform is important. Like,
It is, and we need to have this
remember that
importance.
you're not. Yeah, it's good, but yes, it is important to have a platform to be able to talk about stuff and to be able to preach. Like, we're preaching.
Yeah, like
We're preaching.
It's very
We're
important
preaching.
for everybody to listen to us.
You better listen to
we
what we
have-
say, because what
we
we
have
say
such important
is
things to say. Don't listen to anybody else. Just us. This is just
no, just us.
yeah.
You know,
we're the only right ones. Come on.
we're studs or scrubs.
Yeah, we are both. We're
You
both ends
decide.
of the spectrum.
That's
So
right.
you don't need to listen to anything else.
I'm clearly the stud, and Dustin
We
is
all
definitely
know
the scrub.
you're the fucking stud. All right, we don't need to fucking point that out anymore. We can change the
gonna stand
intro.
over here on
We
my
can
soapbox.
change the intro. Like, who's a stud? Who's a scrub? It's fucking Scary. Calm down, everyone. Okay, we know who it is.
Thank you. And now my positive, obnoxious self will
Yeah,
go
shut up.
preach
Ah.
about.
Anyway,
how-
what you were
how
actually going to
awesome
say?
life is.
What you were about to say about content creation, like what's important for content creators.
Yeah, like
Dot,
it's
dot,
look,
dot.
it's important to understand that if you're a content creator, like what you say is like people listen.
Yep.
Right.
Sometimes too intently.
People do take it very seriously, and the tonality, like there's a sense of responsibility for having a soapbox that I think is
Yes.
kind of is diluted or become kind of like unappreciated
It's understated
with
a
the
lot of the
advent
time.
of the internet,
Yes.
right? Because at the end of the day, like the internet has given a platform to a lot of people that wouldn't have necessarily ever had a platform in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you were to like stand up in the town square and be like, I believe this bullshit, somebody would have come up and punched you in the face, right? And then you
Yeah.
wouldn't have really had too much of a crowd around you.
Yeah.
Um, so there is a responsibility to kind of curb that pressure of a content creator. Like if you're a person who's say doing coaching or trying to be like, yes, you might want to perform to sort of like improve your brand and recognition and stuff like that. But it's like there is a very fine line
Mm-hmm.
between, doing it the right way and doing it the I'm just an asshole way, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, so I think that
It's
it's
almost
important to
there's a lot of, and I hate saying it, but there's a lot of them that I hear or see that have that arrogance. They don't even need to say the like, oh, don't you know who I am? Because they have that tonality, like you're saying, that tonality of maybe not I'm better than you, but the feeling of I'm more important than you because I have a soapbox that I stand on, and I don't
right.
like that. It's very important for humility in this because, like I said, we're just talking heads, and we're wrong. When we're right 80% of the time, we're wrong 90% of the time. See, that's how
Yep.
math works.
Is that how math works?
Yeah, that's math. That's stutter scrub
Oh,
math.
is it?
I have a class that I
Well,
teach. That's one of my coaching things. Now I know I'm going to get all the clients to teach the stutter scrub math class.
you heard it here first, folks. Dustin thinks you're all needing math classes
If
because you're
if you
all
don't if
in
you don't
need of
understand
an
how
education.
if you're right 80% of the time, you're wrong 90% of the time. Yeah, you're going to need to take my math class, and I will teach you. I will teach you how this percentage works.
Only $9.99.
Only $9.99 plus tax.
Plus tax, so $200.
I'll make a nice commercial for y'all. Y'all get to hear that. Then I get
Oh my gosh. But in all seriousness, right? I feel like we've kind of rambled on a little bit about the topic,
we definitely
but
do that.
please let us know in the comments. We actually have a Discord. If you didn't know, make sure you hop onto the Discord. And now that it's made public, for
Yeah,
some reason it
Scary.
wasn't public.
Some reason is
We
you made it. You didn't make it public.
did I make it?
You
I
did.
don't know what
You
I was doing.
absolutely did. Because I
Well,
looked and
I
I'm like,
made
oh
it. I
shit,
made it
Scary made a
wrong.
channel and he didn't make it public. What a
I
dick.
did. And I
What a
didn't
dick.
make it public. And I
Who's
was
the
literally
scrub now?
since our last. It's me. It's me. I don't know technology. Okay. Um, the I put up a thing where I was like, yeah, everybody can go discuss the episode. There's like I'm putting a little thread for each episode,
It was
and then
literally
like it was
just
all
Scary.
crickets for like 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, well, I guess nobody gave a shit
And
about the episode.
finally, because I tagged everybody as here's the podcast friends. So I was like, I just got a tag for this channel that doesn't exist. I think you need to change your permissions. Oh, well,
it.
that's why nobody's talking
So
about
here
it.
I
What the
was
fuck?
thinking that nobody gave a shit about the episode that we talked about. Nobody gave a shit.
You were like liking it
And it
yourself
was
and
really
mentioning
just
shit on it. Like, I feel so
No, I
bad for
was like-
Scary. He's trying so hard and nobody gave a shit.
I
Like,
tried.
Oh,
I
nobody
really
saw it.
nobody gave a shit. Okay, that's the story I'm going with. My competitive pressure really kicked in there.
It really, yeah, it crushed you. It crushed you. You could tell every time that
my
he would post
gosh.
again, he's like, "Oh no, he feels like shit." He's trying to make up for it. by posting.
Gosh darn it!
I see, like, oh, there's 5 messages in there. Cool. Then I look, like, oh, it's all Scary. Never mind. This is not.
Well, I was
It's
like,
just him talking to
maybe
himself.
maybe I can, encourage folks to get involved a little bit. Nope, didn't work. Apparently, when you don't put any sort of like permissions for anybody to actually
Apparently,
join
if
the
nobody
channel,
sees it, they can't comment
Oh
on it.
my
I didn't know
gosh.
that was how
Anyway,
technology
so-
worked, but here we are. We figured it out.
is that how technology works? I
Yeah.
don't know. Apparently, I'm not the right person to bring in for this sort of job. I might be able to play 9 rounds of Warhammer in a weekend,
But I'll
But,
hire somebody to make my Discord channel. That's for
but
damn
I
sure.
don't know how to do shit on Discord. You can tell I'm 38 years old.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah. So let us know what you think about competitive pressure. I think that's definitely something that you know,
And how
is
you deal
I
with
guess
it
every
too. I
single
want to know
person
how other
will.
people deal
Yeah,
with
let
it.
us know how you deal with it. The good, the bad, the ugly. Like it's one of those
The
things
dice
that I'm
throwing.
I'm always very curious about. The dice throwing. Oh yeah, I threw a dice during our game. Remember that?
I do
Down
remember
at
that.
the Mike Mudd
I,
Memorial.
I,
It was
I,
definitely it was like just out
I
of
did
fun or whatever,
not
but it
expect
was
you to
really
actually
funny.
throw it.
But nobody else had context. I got so many like
Yeah,
dirty
he's like,
looks.
"What the hell? What's his problem?" Like, no, it's fine, everybody. That dice just rolled. He killed his Archon. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yep, I rolled a
I
one,
want
so I
to.
threw the die.
I want to frame that die. I wanted to get it. That was the real reason you threw it. You didn't want me to have it. That was.
That's right. You couldn't have it. That dice was a traitor, traitor dice, and yeah, it's just how it was. I couldn't dare have you have that dice. Where's my mouse? Why did my mouse disappear?
Wow, that
There it
was
is.
random thoughts from Scary, episode 184.
Eh. Well, of course, if you'd like to leave us, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. You know what? We're trying. I'm thinking that this is going to be a lot more regular now. We've done it, what, 2 weeks on the right time? Ho
Well,
ho!
technically, this is a day early because you have to travel to WCW.
Was it? Was it? No, we did it on Tuesday last week, didn't we?
No,
Yeah, we
that's
did on Tuesday. We said we were switching it to Tuesdays.
we were.
Because on Wednesdays, yeah, that's usually when I like record battle reports and mini wargaming.
Yeah,
So we
we
were
talked
gonna
about we were going to change it to Thursday, not Tuesday. You nerd. Yeah,
Thursdays.
this is.
Thursdays
You
is
know what? You
okay.
should
Oh, like
just
oh no, right. We said Thursdays
focus on
right
Warhammer right now,
after.
buddy, because scheduling and booking planes and Discord is just not your strong
Oh,
suit right
don't you
now.
dare.
Not your
Oh
strong
my,
suit
no,
right now.
no, no, that's very true. Shit. For anybody who doesn't know, I literally booked my plane to the WTC for next
WCW.
week.
Yeah, he
WCW
was going to
for
show up a
next
little.
week.
He was going to show up
Okay,
a
a
little late.
week after the event, and I was like, "Why haven't I got my email to check in
Did you
yet?"
get Innis to book it
Usually, I
for you?
get an
Maybe he was doing
email.
it.
Yeah, I get an email usually 24 hours before, right? I was like, "That's just funny. Why aren't I getting an email?" I log in to check. Oh shit!
Well,
Gosh darn it! What the hell? I must have been so tired that I literally like got everything set up and booked it for a week after the event.
well, at least you
Oh my
noticed
gosh.
it before.
$500 later. Gosh darn it. Now I'm leaving on the right day. I was so annoyed. Anyway, and so hopefully everybody enjoyed the episode. Thanks a lot for hanging out. If you'd like to support the channel or the
It's a
podcast, you can
channel.
always go to the Patreon page. There's a channel. There are links in the description and stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah, I should do that. You can do that. No,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
do it.
You
You
should
don't
put them
do it.
in
Don't
the
do it.
permanent things too. You should
Yeah,
do it in the permanent.
that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
I won't.
No, don't do
I'll
it.
just put them up for like next year or
Yeah,
something.
next year or not make it public.
That's true. Wish me luck, and I will see you all on the flip side. And then Dustin and I, we've got some really cool events coming up in the new
Yeah,
year,
we
and
do.
I've got a couple of. I'm actually going to be going to more events too, just not
Ironically.
at the crazy pace like this year. But yeah, leave us a review on Podcast Place, and if you have any topic questions or things, make sure you post. Do we have any questions for this episode?
I didn't look because I just figure we can go with the live chat. But we're gonna get. By the way, this is being recorded live now, so we're gonna start doing that more regularly because I don't edit it anyway. So fuck it. This way, people can interact with us. And if you have questions, you can pile them up by the end of the episode and answer them as they come. So it'll take a couple episodes for people to realize and care. So we'll get there.
Yeah, once people care, we'll get there. We'll get there. My question for you is, why are you so awesome?
Because I get to podcast with you every 2 weeks.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Way to inflate my ego with my own question.
I have to.
Thank you very much.
I have to.
I have to. Oh yeah, I'm such a diva.
You're such a diva.
Anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out, everybody, and of course, don't forget the real stud is you. Nailed it.
Number 1, baby. Let's go.